It's that time of year again. Getting the pen cleaned up. One loader and 3 spreaders. That's already their 6th load going out. We're only on the first strip. My prediction is 20 loads. Hopefully it goes fast. Man, this hourly rate stuff is expensive. Field gives to the cows and the cows give to the field. Loading her up. Down to the last, well, we can't see it because my turf pile's there, but over where he is, that is probably we're down to the last maybe 5 loads. Hopefully 4 or less. Lots of ticket. Giving back to nature. Last year, the full loads of field love, went on the 23-acre field. This year, looks like 3 extra, maybe, about 3 loads will go into the 6-acre. They go on to the next one. "38 truckloads. That's a whole lot of poop. Well, what are we up to today on this rainy, not that hard, but just a gentle rain? Don't get me wrong, I'll take it all. But it's the day I start cleaning out the processor, and I'm not too impressed. This is a pain in the ass. This is a job you hire out to some high school kid. I don't even wish it on a high school kid or any other kid or anyone. This job just plainly sucks. Gonna be changes this year. Gonna make sure the twine's cut off. Or the net wrap. Because this is just plain ass frustrating. Well, it took about 4.5 hours yesterday. And then a light bulb went on and said using a box cutter is for a fool. So I went and picked up a Dremel tool, put it on the drill, put it on the old DeWalt, and man, that cut through this crap like nothing. Look at that. I got one spot left right there. I need to make sure I get it out so it doesn't tear up this bearing right here. But man, what a great feeling, because the previous owner that I bought this from didn't clean it out. So anyways, there's the mess that I got. So look at that. Great feeling to have that cleaned out. Now I can go in with the grinder and give the flails a sharpen. And I've got 4 that need replacing on the old Bale Pro 6600. We're going to chalk that up as a win today. Okay, this is what my 7.3 is doing. Watch this. She's pulling up on 80K, that is, and boom. As soon as I hit about 70, with any kind of push, she goes into check engine and no power. Look, like she's done for. Put the truck in park, shut her down. Check engine's cleared. Back to full power. Off we go. Well, whether we like it or not, it's here. I don't know if it'll last long, but the temps are dropping hard at night, so there's a good chance that the crap is going to stay. Look at this. That is just absolutely disgusting. Absolutely gross. I gotta go out and feed the cows.
Feed day on the farm. Feed day on the ranch. They're getting a pedicure. Hello, dear boy. Lulu. My girl. Hi, Lulu. Hi, Lulu. Hello. Hi, Lulu.
Well, it's pedicure day at S&C Livestock. Number 2 is in the chute. Girls are getting their feet done. Some of them are in very dire straits of getting them done, and some aren't. But everyone's getting a good go today. We're running them. The way we're doing this, just let me bring you around, is we got them all in our newly arranged pen system, and then we bring 4 or 5 into the bud box right next to the Aero Quip. Then we run them into the tub, put a couple in the chute, run them down 2 temporary panels and into the hoof trimming table. Now this one's different than one we've used in the past. This one, he doesn't tilt, they just go straight up. And then they get done and they'll go out the opposite end and back with the herd. And that's the way she rolls. So no bulls. Bulls are good, not the pet Kong. And the 5 heifers, pregnant heifers, they got good feed on them. So, oh my God, honey, how'd that happen? I don't know what it is today, but all these girls got really a loose bowel, and this one just got shit on. Anyways, off we go.
So nice, he floats them.
You'd swear it was snowing out for the amount of nails that are trimmed up on this ground, huh? Holy shit. Pedicure day at the farm. God help it. Well, we're loaded up. Round 2. Fed the mamas with the processor last night. Went off very well. First time trying it. Got the old Polaris 5490. Checked the oil, topped up the hydraulics, checked everything on her, it was red, the whole works. Just sitting here warming up while I'm getting things done. The skid steer is usable, but she needs a bit of work. The cleats, so on the tracks, in between, underneath the track, there's like 2 teeth, they're guides, and that go across the rollers. Well, in between those cleats, they're connected by like a steel plate, and on one of them, it snapped, and she makes quite the grinding and clunking noise. So I've got 2 new tracks coming. One wasn't, come to find out after some investigating, looking at it and stuff, the original owner had changed out one track and left an original because it was in really good condition. Well, the original one is the one that snapped. So at a great expense to me. Those tracks aren't cheap on those skid steers, but I bought aftermarket, of course. John Deere wanted a little over $5,000, but I got them aftermarket out of Edmonton. Same kind, zigzag tracks, delivered to the farm for $4,000. So a little bit of savings. Take them where you can get them. And the boys are away on their elk hunting trip right now. The trip I always went on for 20 years, but haven't in the last few. And good thing I didn't this year, because I was in the emerge for 24 hours on Friday through into Saturday. God bless cancer. So it was a good thing I wasn't away up north in the wilderness. But My best bud Donnie and his son Hunter boy. Donnie is a master tech heavy duty and a track expert, and on anything big and with steel. And Hunter boy is I think his second or working on third year hours as a heavy duty tech, and does lots of stuff with skid steers. So Donnie already knows tracks are coming. Hunter doesn't, but I'm sure he's pretty scripted on changing them out, so they'll come give me a hand and we'll get those changed out, and yeah, we'll go from there. Get that skid steer back to work. I got some brush mowing that I want to get done and things like that, so if I'm up to it. So off we go. This worked quite well last night, and I am cutting the twines off, if you're wondering. I'm putting them on the lifter, setting it on the lifter, pulling the twines off, and going that way for now. Because it was a pain in the butt to clean that sucker up. Anyways, folks, off we go with our Polaris and Highline Bail Pro. Go feed the gal. You need the best angle, so we'll see what we can do here. Just doing it in one line, I'm doing it in piles. I find if I give these girls a straight line, they seem to crap on it a lot more. This gives them room to stand around the pile and eat it up. That's what I was doing with skid steer as well. Look at these maroons. They watch me go in the gate into this field, and instead they walk up the road and stand on the opposite side of the fence. But that's how I'm doing it, putting it out in piles, you know, and I just find it seems to work better. And this bale feeding sponsored by Richard Hare. This is a Richard bale. Girls love Richard's bales. Anyways, off we go. Finally. These old hags are coming down the road. God forbid it wasn't brought to them on a silver platter and sat right down in front of them. Good Lord, man. And I see I got a limping mama here. And as she comes around this turn, around this gate, I'm going to try and see if I can get her number. Coming quicker than them all. Yes, the old king's still here. There he is. Here comes that limping mama. You can see it in the video. You guys that know. He looks like Herbie. Looks like a 25. Rev the bull. Oh, look at these bright nunlings up there, going back the other way, following their sisters up the road.